Hey, second grade, welcome back to another math lesson. So today we're going to be talking all about fractions. And fractions happen when you break up a whole into smaller equal parts. I'm going to say that one more time, smaller equal parts. So every amount has to be the same. The fractions that we're going to talk about today are halves, thirds, and fourths. And you'll notice if a shape is broken up into halves, how many parts are there? 1, 2. Good job. When we have thirds, you can almost hear it in the name, thirds. How many parts do we have if we break an object or a shape into thirds? 1, 2. Yes, we'll have 3. And lastly, fourths, it says it in the name again practically. How many pieces will we have? Absolutely, we will have 4. Now, on your assignment today, they're going to ask you to label objects that are broken into 2 halves, 3 thirds, or 4 fourths. And that just means that there are 2 halves. There are 1, 2, 3 thirds, and there are 1, 2, 3, 4 fourths. That's what they're asking you to do when you are labeling your shapes. Now, let's get into making some of these fractions. Let's start by labeling this fraction. So I have 3 equal parts. Now when I draw it on the board, I'm going to try my best. They might not be perfectly equal, but I am trying my best. So just pretend that they are equal while I'm drawing. All right, so I have 3 pieces. What fraction would this be? You got it, it would be thirds. And just because they ask you to write it like this on your assignment, I'm going to write it 3 thirds. Now, let's say I give you the fraction, you need to draw it. I'm going to do 2 halves. How many pieces am I going to break this circle up into? You got it. I'm going to have 2 pieces. Now watch. When I break it into 2 pieces, how many lines am I making? Yeah, I'm only making 1 line to make 2 pieces. Just like up here, I made 2 lines to make 3 pieces. So make sure that you double check 1, 2, and count your pieces after, because sometimes it's easy to make a mistake and you accidentally draw too many lines. So always go back and recount. Now for this next one, I am going to write it again. I'm going to write it into, let's do 4 fourths, since we haven't done it. 4 fourths. Now, I'm going to draw it, and I want you to tell me if you think it is correct or incorrect. Do you think this is a good drawing of 4 fourths or a correct drawing? No, you're right. Why do you think that is? You got it, because I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 4 pieces, however, they're not equal. And remember, when we're talking about fractions, they all have to be equal, which means they all have to be the same size. That's much better. And last, let's do thirds. I'm going to write it down. 3 thirds. And I want to show you a trick because it is a little bit tricky to draw thirds when you have a circle. So what I do is I draw a line about halfway down, and then I'm making like a triangle. So I bring this one down to the side, and then I bring the other one down to the other side. Now, thirds are pretty hard to draw, and mine isn't perfectly equal, but if you have to draw thirds, just try your best. I will know if you are trying to make them equal or not, because I know you're trying your best. All right, second grade, I hope you have an awesome time working with your fractions today.